New director of operations walks into a meeting and announces that the company is hemorrhaging money by using a middleman. He wants to cut out the domestic importer they've used for 5 years, the company that handles customs, quality checks, and shipping, all to save 15%. The purchasing manager warns him. He explains that dealing with freight forwarders, tariffs, and port delays is a full-time job. The boss calls him lazy. He actually says, "Just get me the contacts. I'll close the deal myself." So the purchasing manager does exactly that. He hands over a spreadsheet with 20 Chinese factory contacts, their minimum order quantities, and the time zone differences. Then he sits back and watches the show. The purchasing manager tries to warn him. He explains that international shipping isn't like ordering from Amazon. There are freight forwarders, tariffs, port delays, customs brokers, ISF filings. It's a full-time job. The boss doesn't want to hear it. He says the purchasing manager is just being lazy. Then he says the magic words, "Just get me the contacts. I'll close the deal myself." So the purchasing manager complies. He spends a few days on Alibaba compiling a list of legitimate Chinese manufacturers that produce glass ornaments. He puts together a spreadsheet with 20 factory contacts, their minimum order quantities, and the time zone differences. He hands it over to his boss, and then he sits back and watches the chaos unfold. First, the boss realizes that FOB price, which stands for free on board, doesn't include shipping to their warehouse. It just means the goods are loaded onto the ship. Everything after that is your problem. Then he wires money to a supplier, but forgets to hire a customs broker. The shipment gets flagged by CBP, Customs, and Border Protection. Then the container sits at the port for 10 days because he doesn't understand what an ISF filing is. That's an importer security filing, paperwork that has to be submitted before the ship even leaves China. And here's the best part. The demurrage fees, which are fines for not moving your container out of the port on time, cost more than the 15% he was trying to save. Let me say that again. The fines alone cost more than what he thought he was going to save by cutting out the middleman. Yesterday, the boss came to the purchasing manager's desk. He looked incredibly humbled. He asked if he still had the phone number for their old importer.